How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.
All right, Saturday night. Focus is on the Gujarat Titans and the Mumbai Indians. Both teams looking to bounce back after opening game defeats to Punjab Kings and Chennai Super Kings, respectively. Hardik Pandya, time to enter the IPL 2025. And what better team to start off with than the one that he led to their first IPL title a few years back. So much has changed since. So much has happened even in the last year for him. It's an exciting game to build up to on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. Cheteshwar Pujara is a rock. No one's going to move him from our middle order. He is there, but another rock of Indian cricket and a friend of ESPN Cricket for Wasim Jaffer for the first time in the IPL. Wasim, good evening. In very festive mood, I must say.
Yeah, Eid's coming up.
Yes, so, yeah. Eid is coming up. I hope you're going to bring something for us.
If you call me.
You two obviously go back a long way, I'm sure, Puji and Wasim, as rivals.
Rivals, and even we have played a lot of cricket together because I joined in Indian Oil when Wasim bhai was already there. So being a youngster, he has guided me.
Junior.
Yeah.
Junior to me.
Yeah.
Did you bully him as a junior?
No.
Did you give him tips on how to bat when he came in?
I don't think I need to.
No.
Now you don't. That time I'm saying when he's a junior.
He just wanted to be on the crease. I remember one game, if I can have time.
Yeah.
He got 99 in 90 overs, I think in one KSCA tournament. He batted whole of 90 overs and he said, I still don't get the feeling. So I don't know what else he wanted.
How many did you score in that game?
I think I got 170, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, but he was not happy getting 99 or something.
And might I welcome my dear friend and colleague Dustin Silgardo for the first time. We've given Matt Roller a well-deserved break.
We're sourcing locally for this show.
Yes, this is all local. It's a tribute to the Mumbai Indians. We've given our best domestic scouting and best domestic talent and opportunity. Dustin, what are we going to stir up today? Come on, you're the one who likes to stir things up.
What are we going to stir up today?
Yeah.
Nothing, just that Mumbai Indians have a particularly bad record at Ahmedabad against GT.
Yes.
And so that's going to be interesting. There, I think a lot of matchups that are on GT's side in this particular match. But then we all said before the season that Mumbai Indians were going to make the playoffs. So if they lose 2 in a row, then that's not looking great. So
I mean, they've lost more than that.
That's true.
In a row, haven't they? But from the opening game that both of you saw, Mumbai against Chennai and Gujarat against Punjab, where do you sense that both teams either look to improve or look, are there any obvious holes like we've said about some of the other teams, or was that just an opening day blip? Wasim?
Well, I think for Mumbai, batting is a bit of concern.
Oh, okay.
Rohit's form again. The way he plays. Ryan Rickelton, who's somebody who's very new to the IPL, but he looks a good player. And then Surya Kumar Yadav's form as well. He hasn't been in a great form internationally as well as obviously coming into this tournament. So a lot of it depends on Tilak Verma. And after that, I think Hardik Pandya coming in will give a lot of balance with both bat and ball. Because Naman Dheer and Robin Mins, you're expecting too much from them.
I mean, we always come into the IPL thinking they've got such a good batting lineup, but now that you list them one by one, there's either some inexperienced players, even Will Jacks, even though he's talented, he's inexperienced. The senior Indian players, your colleagues, Puji, in the team, their form is key, isn't it, if Mumbai had to look that strong batting?
It is, and see, they've just played one game, and I feel this will be the perfect track for them to get back in form. They were playing at Chennai. First game was at Chepauk, which is not an ideal place for any batter to bat. So I believe that it's in a shorter format, it's just a matter of one innings, and once you start scoring good 30, 40, 50, then things can go your way very easily. So I don't think form will be a bigger concern because all the batters are quite experienced and they know how to score runs in IPL.
Yeah.
And they are the pros, and that's why they are part of the MI squad. So they back them, and I'm sure they will be delivering very soon.
Toss news from Ahmedabad. Hardik Pandya has won it. Mumbai will bowl first. So the pattern continues. Every single captain who's won the toss in this now being the 9th match of IPL 2025 has chosen to bowl first. We have had 3 teams that have won batting first, including the last game at Ahmedabad, where Punjab Kings scored 243 in what was a high-scoring game. Dustin, you remember that? We got 475 runs between Punjab and Gujarat that day.
And both the games that have been really high-scoring have been won by the team batting first.
Correct.
So I'm wondering if does it on a really flat pitch, is it better to bat first? Because, for example, even if you look at the SRH Royals game, SRH were going so hard that it looked like Royals at some stage got deflated. And then SRH ended up getting 280, which was almost unchaseable. And a similar thing happened with Punjab against Gujarat, where Punjab got so much momentum, they made 240 plus.
Yeah.
Would you have maybe looked at batting first if the pitch looks flat?
Well, sometimes you do want to bat first, but at the same time, there is, if you know that the score is going to be somewhere close to 240, 250, then there is pressure on team batting first as well, because they need to set up a total, and they know that their total has to be close to 230, 240, and when you are trying to achieve that, then the bowling team has a better chance of restricting them.
Yeah, I think Dustin makes an important point. It's an interesting conversation now because of how much more run scoring we expect. Normally, chasing is the way to go, due and all that. Now there's a rule to counter the due potentially. And if you're chasing 230, 240, you almost need to have the intensity for so long as a chasing team. And Wasim, we saw that in the Punjab-Gujarat game. Gujarat were in a good position, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were like 170 for 2. But even then, to chase 230, 240, you need to be so good for so long. Suddenly, because there's so high scoring games, I wonder if batting first now suddenly becomes more appealing for teams, or are we still going to see teams just want to know what to chase?
Well, I think the team who opt to bowl first, they don't expect the batting team to get 240, first of all. Yeah. They expect the team to probably get 190, 200, max 210, and they think they'll chase it.
Yeah.
But as soon as the team gets 230, 240, it looks like it's going to be a difficult chase, unless obviously somebody plays, really, really well. Yeah. Like the Gujarat game, I thought, it was Gujarat's game to win. But for that 3 overs that Vaishak came in and bowled those couple of overs and nailed those wide Yorkers. And that's where I think Punjab actually won.
Yeah, and what they're looking to do is what you're saying happened in the Lucknow-Delhi game, where Lucknow were in really good position. But as batting first, then sometimes you can also stumble your way. Or even Sunrisers in the game they lost. You look like you're looking for 230, suddenly wickets fall and you get 208, 209. That's, I guess, the bowling plan for a team
that's what you want. Unless obviously, Shreyash Iyer plays that blinder, and then obviously Shashank came in and the scores goes beyond your reach. But the teams obviously don't want to bowl first and concede 240 runs. They are expecting somewhere around 180, 190, and they chase it down.
And even if you are batting first, it's never easy to get to 240, 250, because if you choose to bat first, do you have that target in mind that we want to reach 240? Then you never get that. Only way you get there is just by batting well in first 10, 15 overs, and then you have wickets in hand, and then you end up getting there. But you cannot have a target of reaching of 240, 250 unless you are playing at Hyderabad and you know that the pitch is going to be flat. But even then, we saw that SRH lost that game because they wanted to get to 240, 250, and which they couldn't.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say now that we're going to see bowlers come a little more prepared. We've already seen in the first 8 games 2 or 3 teams thinking of how to counter these mad batting performances. So maybe we won't see that 300 that, we've done some 300 social.
Yeah, I hope we don't see 300 on.
There will be. I have a very good sense. I feel that there will be a 300 in this IPL.
Okay. You think it'll happen?
It will happen.
Okay.
I don't know how often, but at least
today
once.
Maybe? Or no, not today?
Not today, maybe not today.
Yeah, not at Ahmedabad.
Yeah, not at Ahmedabad.
We'll wait for Chinnaswamy to make its appearance and then see when it happens over there perhaps. Anyway, let's talk about the Gujarat Titans for a bit and what the positives and negatives were for them. With 230, do you say they look a strong batting team? And we saw the first of Shafin Rutherford. They also batted Butler at 3, which was a big point of debate whether he should be opening with a Shubman Gill.
I definitely feel that Butler should be opening, because if you look at his track record in the IPL, he has been opening well. He has won games. Someone like him who plays 50, 60 balls, you are guaranteed to get 100 out of him. So I think he should be opening the innings. The more number of balls he plays in an innings, he will win you games.
Yeah, sometimes I'm worried that 100 of 60 these days is not a great innings also. Sometimes people might think you need to get 130 then or 120.
Yeah. You need to be 200 strike rate plus if you play 60 balls.
So he needs to get those big hundreds. Yeah, but he's such a big player. I think the last game was only the 3rd or 4th time in many years that Butler's not opened the batting. I can see the logic, Wasim, that Sudarshan and Shubman,
very similar.
They were good. No, but they were good last year. Yeah. And if Sai Sudarshan has to play, you think the best chance for him is to open. Maybe at 3, he could become redundant. So would you have Butler
I'll have Butler open as well. And then again, Shubman wants to play, ultra aggressive, which is said before. Probably one of the reasons is he wants to get into the T20 side as well. If he plays, Shubman's way, that's probably what GT wants. But if he wants to come back into the Indian T20 side, he needs to score those big hundreds in those 45, 50 balls.
Right.
So, that's the conflict. And if Butler opens, it gives that a little bit of freedom to Shubman as well. And Sai Sudarshan at 3, I feel, is a good number for him.
For Shubman, you're saying batting. No, Butler.
Butler and Shubman
Butler
open.
and Shubman to open, that is what he's saying. And I agree with that combination because I know they want to try left and right hand combination, but Sai can bat at number 3, and we saw that he was trying too hard to score runs in the power play. He batted well after the power play. That's what I felt in the last game.
Yeah.
And if Shubman goes really aggressively, then Butler can take his time. We've seen when he gets his 100, he takes his time a little bit
Yeah, he
for
can
3 or
play
4
the
overs.
situation. Yeah.
And once he gets going, there's no stopping Butler. So, I mean, it works both ways.
What I felt was that this team, because they've got so many guys who actually prefer playing 5, 6, 7, but they have them batting 4, 5, 6, because there's Shah Rukh Khan, there's Tewatia, I think there's one more I'm missing out now. Rutherford played at 4 over there. But maybe they felt like they need Butler to bat the back end of the innings and therefore put him at 3. But in the same situation,
left-right combination maybe, right? Just Sai Sudarshan. And also Sai Sudarshan, Sai Sudarshan has a slow strike rate in his first 10 balls. So then the thing is, if Butler also has taken, say, if Butler gets a 12 of 10, and then Sai Sudarshan also comes in and gets only 10 of his first 10 balls, then you're looking at a difficult situation maybe.
The thing is, he did well. 74 of 41 is good innings. But it's
but if
about
you look at
how he started.
That's what I was coming to. Because if you look at the way he batted in the power play, his strike rate wasn't great. And then he made up. So because he batted 40 odd balls, that's where he got to 74. So he improved his strike rate after the power play.
And also, I know it sounds ridiculously harsh, but when the asking rate is 12 and over, even when you strike at 180, you are technically behind the asking rate. Although 180, of course, is a good strike rate, but these days you need to strike at 200 almost if you play 40
I mean,
balls.
there's also there's the other effect of how that affects your batting partner. If Shubman had a Butler also going at 180, 200.
And Butler plays cricketing shots. He doesn't need to go for high risk shots within the power play. So even if he's like sometimes the kind of shots he plays, it looks like he's playing those shots without taking risk. So you are not going to lose a wicket. I mean, he assures that you will have a good power play without losing a wicket.
All right, let's have a look at the Gujarat Titans team. Any changes after just one game where they had their moments? Shavin Rutherford is named in the 11 this time, so they've named a full complement of 4. Otherwise, they left it open. Maybe they wanted to look at the possibility of Glenn Phillips in the last game. But otherwise, there is another change, I think. Arshad Khan is missing. Yeah, so Arshad Khan is on the bench. We will see if that is indeed the option they go for. Given this is the batting first. Yeah, correction. Not on the bench, so they might have to go for one off Ishant Sharma or Washington Sundar, who still doesn't make the...
But they're batting first,
side.
right?
That's a batting first team. So they've left Arshad Khan out. They've got Rutherford in, but Arshad's not even on the bench. Presumably, we'll see either Ishant Sharma or Washington Sundar. Let's get reactions on that. Puji?
I think it's a good side. Look, I feel that one of them, either Ishant or Washington, will be a good option depending on how the pitch is.
Yeah.
But this looks like a strong unit, and I think they've made the right call.
I mean, Arshad had one tough over that he had. He didn't have much else to do. He's a good player, Arshad Khan. He's surprised that after one game they've decided to change
It's always
the
tough on somebody who's got only one game
Yeah.
and it's too much to ask in that one game. So, yeah, a little bit tough on him.
More life in Ishant Sharma, who both of you have played enough with. Is he a junior or a senior to you? I forget because Ishant's been playing
Everybody is junior to me.
I thought everyone's junior to Ishant because he's been playing for like 5 decades, it feels like. But he's still got life, IPL life, and who knows with what
And he's had a very good IPL last season.
Yes.
He picked up important wickets, he bowled well, even in the death, which was not his strongest suit. With new ball, he bowls really well, picks up wickets. So I think not a bad call to get him after the batting.
And it's the height which makes the big difference because he has that high arm action, and if he gets going on that pitch, but not to forget that he could be very expensive also if he doesn't get it right, then and he hasn't been playing a lot of domestic cricket. So it will be a tough call whether you want him or whether you want Washington Sundar who can bowl a little bit of spin in between.
I wonder if they also saw what Punjab did to them. And Vaishak came with a very specific plan. And we're also seeing, Prince Yadav the other day, the Lucknow game, very specific plan. If they're going to get Ishant in late in the innings and just ask him to bowl
Those
say,
wide
wide Yorkers. Possible, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that could be a good plan. See, if they are very sure about what they expect out of Ishant, then it becomes better for him to execute those plans. So, I feel that if he's bowling in the middle overs, he will be a bit more effective rather than if he's bowling in the power play and then the death overs.
I think it was that 2010 series, where Dhoni made Ishant bowl wide to Gilchrist and one of the other Australian left-handers. Sorry, I have Pujara and Jaffer here, so I'm talking about Test cricket.
No, talk.
I forgot what.
Why are you saying sorry? Yeah, we're talking about 100 Test veteran.
But he's done
Ishant
that
Sharma.
before. Remember in Test cricket, if you remember, he used to bowl sometimes to that 7-2 field only on the offside. Yeah.
He has done that. And see, look, he has the best control. He has played so many Test matches, more than 100 Test matches. So, he understands his game really well. But for a fast bowler to bowl at this age, it's not the same when he was young. So there'll be some wear and tear in his body as well.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see if he gets an opportunity and if he gets it right, then he will be very pleased with that.
Just checking
now
how
that,
old
now
am
that
I?
we've spoken about him so much, he definitely won't be used as a backstop.
He's only 36, Ishant, still.
For a fast bowler, that's
tremendous.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been such a workhorse for Indian cricket. The amount of workload his body has undergone.
For somebody who's been dropped from the Indian team as well,
Yeah.
to keep on playing first-class cricket in IPL is commendable.
Extraordinary. When we never talk about is this going to be Ishant's last season? Is he going to? Could we see? We only talk about Dhoni for that, but that's a different conversation now. We'll talk about Ishant when we see him. Let's hope we see him second half. But that's the change that GT have made by naming Rutherford in the 11. MI have made some changes themselves. Mujibur Rahman, for the first time this season, came in as a replacement for the injured Allah Ghazanfar, his compatriot, and Hardik Pandya is going to, of course, start. So the changes they've made, interestingly, there's no Vignesh Puttur, and Satyanarayan Raju only got one game and 1 over, in the last game. He's pretty much filling a hole for Bumrah. But Raju is going to be persisted with. Will Jacks goes from playing 11 to the bench, as does Robin Minge. So they'll only have one of those two to call upon. In fact, one Santner, two Bolt Mujib. So that's it. There's no Will Jacks. Will Jacks is out. So the batter will have to be an Indian batter come the second innings.
Yeah, but that's
very
I
interesting.
think
That's
Jacks
going to be
had,
Robin Mins, isn't it?
Yeah, it has to be Mins. And I'm surprised they left Jacks out after just one game.
And even that spinner.
no, he can come in instead of a.
no, but they
No,
have
but they've
four
named
overseas
four
already,
overseas.
yeah.
Rickleton, Santner, Trent, Bolt, Mujib. So you've named your 4 overseas. So Will Jacks can't
So he
play
can't come
today.
in.
Therefore, the only option there is Mins, realistically.
Yeah.
But I thought Will Jacks at 3 on a good pitch, that may be, have a longish batting order, but I guess they're happy
And
with.
he's got 100 on this ground against Gujarat Titans last
Yes,
year.
very good memory. Yeah. He smashed Rashid Khan.
Yeah. So I'm really, really surprised.
Wow. Okay. Hardik at 7 and Santner at Hardik at 6?
I think Hardik at 6, Namandhir. But once the impact sub comes in,
No, how? Right, when
Mins
they
maybe
bring
at
one in.
6, Hardik at 7.
Yeah,
They'll kind of decide that batting order.
It's still missing a little bit of punch,
Yeah.
isn't it? But that's what Wasim spoke of. I mean, there's still a lot of talented players there. But they've changed the combination. What's the reason for Mujib? Let's try and understand that. Because Mujib is clearly a aggressive selection to leave Vignesh Puttur, who had a good game, the left-arm wrist spinner.
Look, he has a bit more experience. Vignesh, I know he bowled well, but he doesn't have that experience. And on that pitch, which seems to be on a flatter side, that's where I think Mujib's experience will be quite useful.
I mean, Mujib has not had a lot of IPL time either. He himself has had injuries. It's not like it's a Rashid Khan or a closer version of Rashid Khan or Noor Ahmed.
Yeah. And he likes to bowl with the new ball, and I think he's not going to get the new ball here with Deepak Chahar, Trent Bolt.
Yeah.
Hardik likes to bowl with the new ball as well. So he's going to bowl in the middle overs. Right. And like you've said, he hasn't played a lot of IPL as well. And somebody who's done well in the last game, you suddenly drop him after one game. So I am a little surprised.
Mujib did have a good SA20. He was, I think, in the top 5 wicket takers. But then SA20 and IPL, you don't always. I mean, that form doesn't necessarily carry through to IPL.
Well, now that
It's a
we've
very
teased
different
it,
tournament.
let's talk about MI Cape Town and let's talk about Rashid Khan and let's talk about all
Okay.
those matchups
And
that
look,
you were going to talk
Vignesh,
about.
he has travelled to South Africa to get better.
Yeah.
So I think as a T20, it's a great competition, and there, if someone has performed well, then everyone keeps an eye on who is performing well in which tournament overseas. So that I think if he has done well over there, that form will definitely help him.
I'm just with Wasim's point on that. Will Jack's innings at Ahmedabad, that's what I think triggered the RCB real, sort of vibe of
I think it may be more
back-to-back
because of
innings.
positions, because they want Tilak and Surya 3 and 4. Maybe that's why they said, okay, where do we fit Jacks? Because last time they had to then push Surya to 4 and Tilak to 5. I don't know if you feel, is 5 an okay spot for Tilak, or is that then
I
pushing
think
an
Tilak
informed
is
player?
all right. He is somebody who can manage. Surya, obviously, if he comes in at 3, you want him. But still, Will Jacks at 3, and if he strikes like he does.
But then even Hardik has to go down, and that's why I feel that they've made that change, because Hardik also wants to bat up the order.
You just feel like typical of MI, will take 3-4 games, 2-3 games before they
settle.
Work out who their best team is once Bumrah is also back. And it won't surprise me if they also are figuring their best combination out. So we'll see how that goes. But you have some interesting matchups to talk about today in these teams.
Yeah, well, I had wanted to do a longer conversation about what Rashid Khan might do this season, because last season was his hardest in the IPL. And in fact, ever since the impact player rule has come in, his numbers have changed quite a bit, because he used to have an economy rate about 6.5. Last 2 seasons, it's gone above 8. And what I noticed while looking in the numbers is that batters are just attacking him a lot more. So if you look at the attacking shot percentage now, almost 1 in every 3 balls of Rashid's since 2023, batters are actually going after it. Whereas earlier it was 25%. So basically what I feel is, because the scores are going up, teams know that, okay, we can't just give Rashid his 4 overs. And they are going after him. And what happened last season is, because of that, in 2023, he took a lot of wickets, right? He got joint purple cap. But last season, batters were attacking him, but they were doing it successfully. And he didn't end up taking that many wickets. Neither did he have a low economy rate. So, is there something that's changed in his bowling, or do you think it's more just batters have decided, okay, we have to hit him now, and that's putting him under pressure?
I would say that batters have realized that what kind of bowling options does he have. Also, the venue makes a big difference. Ahmedabad pitch has become a little flatter.
Right.
And the way batters are batting now, and you have that depth in the batting lineup because of the impact player. And that's why all the teams can, go hard against him. And then they have figured out, if you play him as an off spinner, if you just try and pick every ball which is coming in for a right-hand batter, it becomes slightly easier. And that's where I think he has to rely a bit more on his leggies. That's where he will have to work a bit more if he can bowl few more leggies rather than just bowling those googlies.
I've got another one, and I think you've got some numbers on this. Is he actually bowling more bad balls than previously?
So we looked at the
I also feel that after his back surgery,
he had an injury.
His length, he's not been that consistent. Plus, he's bowling a little bit slower, I feel. How many times you have seen him, getting pulled before 2023? Not so much. But after his injury, the ball is not getting that same zip which he used to get.
Agreed.
Batters have found time to hit him, to the cow corner area. So I think one of those areas, and he's not hitting that 6-meter length very consistently, which he used to do.
Yeah.
Dustin has come prepared.
No, I was looking at numbers and the lengths, So it is down from good length. He was 54.6. Now it's come down, not by much, but still that can count for a lot. But what you can see is, off the balls, when he misses his lengths, batters are now punishing it. So as Wasim was saying, when he goes short now, he goes at 11 and over. Earlier, even the short balls were 8 and over. So he was getting away with the shorter length, maybe because, as you're saying, of the pace. And now even when he goes full, he's going for a lot of runs. Like if he over pitches, batters are taking it on. And if you remember, even the last game, I think Shreyas hit him for 1-6 off a full ball. Then he went short and Shreyas pulled it, and very similar with Shashank. So it's like he's going full, then short. So he is...
For me, the big one there, and there's a lot of numbers, but the big one there is the full ball. The economy has gone from 8.8 to 12.2. Because for the short ball, I get it, but it's only an increase of 20.2 to 21%. Here, there's a 4% increase. So he's bowling more full balls. Somehow batters seem to have been able to hit the full Rashid
That's
Khan
where
ball.
I feel that batters are able to predict his balls. The thing is, whenever he's bowling the googlies or the straighter ones, they are able to set him up, and then they are able to hit him over long on or over mid wicket, which wasn't the case earlier. There were quite a few mistime balls, and he used to pick wickets in those balls. And then whenever he picks a wicket, even his picking up wicket has gone down a bit, because even if he's bowling 4 overs, if he concedes 50 runs, earlier he used to take 2 or 3 wickets.
Yes.
Now he is not picking up wickets either.
Yeah, and he's still a bowler who batters will not charge down too. So they have to be able to anticipate what length he's going to bowl. And I wonder also with the amount of cricket he's now played, teams are better prepared. There's more analysis. You've got more footage to study, see how often the full ball comes, especially after his injury. I think Rashid Khan, for many years, all the video tech in the world couldn't help batters. But maybe it's just changing a little bit right
It is. It is definitely changing, and I genuinely feel he has to rely a bit more on his leggies. He is relying too much on his flipper ball and the googlies. If he starts bowling more leggies, then he will pick up more wickets. That's what I feel.
You think he should attack the stumps more? Because I also noticed he was going a little bit wider.
That's what he used to do. He used to attack the stump, and as soon as the batters miss, he
Bold
used to get the
LBW.
bold and LBWs, which he's not getting. And I think because of the impact sub, obviously with one extra batter, earlier the batter used to come with two options. One is to either attack him or you play out his overs. If you take 20, 25 of his 4 overs, they are happy. But now with an extra batter, batters are coming out prepared to attack him. And that's where whenever he misses his length, he's going for runs.
Okay, fascinating conversation. And how did his matchups go against the Mumbai
actually,
batters?
MI is a better matchup for him because in the last few seasons, MI have been one of the slower teams against Rashid. And I think you've got 3 players in Rohit and Hardik definitely off late have got out to leggies quite a few times. I think Rohit, it's about 11 times since 2023 in white ball cricket. Hardik as well has got out a few times to leggies. Surya also, actually, his strike rate is quite decent against leggies.
Never been
Against
dismissed.
Rashid in particular is decent. No, that's against Rashid. But against leggies, if you look at ODI cricket, he is sometimes a little bit slower.
But he's awesome against Rashid.
He's got Tilak out twice.
Yeah. All right. So
But in general, you have a few players there who struggle a little bit against leg spin. So that maybe will help Rashid.
And in T20 format, the wrist spinners have been picking wickets, and no matter, even if you are best batter in the world, not many batters you can name that who hasn't got out against wrist spinners in T20 format, because you need to go hard against them, and there are times where you will end up getting out.
I think a big season for Rashid Khan to almost sort of catch up or now react to batters taking him down more often than they used to. He is one of the greatest IPL bowlers. There's no doubt of Rashid Khan. It's interesting though that he's having perhaps more challenges to overcome than he did in those glory years for him when he was with the Sunrisers and even first season with the Titans. Right, that's for later. Rashid will have a job to do with the bat first, as will the rest of the Titans. It's time to break down tactics in the power play. Maruti Suzuki Arena presents Power Play Conversations. Okay, MI are playing Mujib. We spoke of the potential Mujib has with the new ball, but with Deepak Chahar and trend bowl Wasim Jaffer, it looks like they're going to stick with their swing bowlers. I believe there's a very good matchup to Shubman Gill by Deepak Chahar, which we'll just see numbers of. There you go. Strike rate of 100. The other way around. But 4 outs in 10 innings for just 78 runs. So Deepak Chahar becomes a matchup for the Gujarat captain.
And that's the best place to bowl for Deepak Chahar as well. You would want him to bowl 3 overs in the power play, and for him to pick 1 or 2 wickets, that will be ideal. And numbers suggest that he's got the number of Shubman Gill few times. So good numbers against him.
I don't know whether it's at Ahmedabad, because it will be a different ball game altogether when he is bowling at Ahmedabad on a flat pitch. After first over or so, the ball will stop swinging. It'll be interesting to see how Deepak goes.
We didn't really see Siraj get much swing in the last game. Rabada bowled 3 in the power play, but again, that was a different kind of bowler. We didn't see much movement in the air at Ahmedabad.
And if the ball stops swinging at Ahmedabad and on a flat pitch, it could be a batter's paradise.
Dustin, anything to add?
No, on Gujarat batting first, it's interesting they haven't gone with that 7th batter. I thought maybe a Mahipal Lamror would come in, but they've left that spot now for maybe going for... they could also have that option of if there's a collapse, getting a batter in later. But do you prefer it when teams keep the bowling option, or do you think it's better to name a longer batting lineup when you're batting first? Because here I think they will have Rashid coming in as early as maybe even number 7.
Just having a look, let's bring up that team. Look, if they're going Washi Sundar and they make that call in the first innings, then you can always use him as a bat towards the end. But they have a lot of lower order hitting. So I guess they're so happy with Sai and Shubman and Butler to bat 60-70% of the innings that they don't feel like they need a more of a. But I can see Dustin's point that Rashid Khan listed at number 7 when you're batting first 11 in the impact rule era is not really the batting depth that some of the other teams showed.
Yeah, and I think if they probably want somebody, then get in Washington if at all. But again, where Washington bowls, he ideally likes to bowl in the power play. Can you get him into the power play? That is
because you have
question.
so many fast bowlers who want to bowl there.
Tell you that Sai Sudarshan and Shubman continue to open, so it's not like they've changed it after one game. Bolt is bowling to Sai Sudarshan now. Game is underway. MI have never won at Ahmedabad. I think in 3 attempts against Gujarat Titans, that is. So, is that going to change? Let's get first innings predictions. ESPN Cricket for forecaster is saying 174 at the start of the innings. 174. You need a lot more than that with the Punjab Kings and Gujarat in the last game. Dustin, what are you going for?
Based on the last game at Ahmedabad, I'll say 227.
227, okay. Gujarat Titans. Cheteshwar Pujara.
I'm going with 220.
220, right. Similar. Wasim?
Well, I heard the pitch report, so I'm going to go for 195.
What was in that pitch report and why did you tell your friends that before you predicted?
Right, Michael Clark said that it looked like a used pitch and it might not be as batting friendly as the last game. So
you said how much then?
195.
195. Fine. I'll also, now that I have that information from Wasim and I trust Michael Clark, I'll also say one. You know what? I think this will get 200. I can't see them not getting 200. So 200 will be a good game. Let's see how that goes. Thank you, Dustin, Puji, Wasim. More from them at the end of the Titans innings. Both teams in search of their first points. This is an important game in the IPL for both Shubman Gill, Hardik Pandya and their respective sides. Join us for analysis at the end of the GT innings on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout.
How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.